How to understand a puppy. Good owners understand their dogs without words, but to learn how to do this you must establish a trusting relationship with your dog from an early age. Even the tiniest puppy comes to you with experiences and behavior patterns that may not suit you. And to get rid of his bad habits requires a lot of patient work and knowledge of the basics. How do you understand a dog? The character of the pet is composed of genotype, temperament, previous experience, learning ability, and each dog is, of course, unique. Therefore, it is impossible to determine any general scheme for raising a puppy. Raising a puppy is a long and complex process, and only you can determine if your pet is okay. Sadly, your dog can't tell you where he's hurt, so you can only tell what's wrong by his behavior or body language. It's through his actions and movements that your puppy expresses his needs, desires, and emotions. What could be a sign that a puppy is sick? To understand when a puppy needs your help and attention, you need to know how your puppy behaves when he's perfectly fine. A healthy puppy is always ready for interaction and responds to your attention. He meets you, brings you toys, wags his tail, barks, happily runs for a walk, is constantly moving around and exploring something. It's worth worrying about your puppy's health if he's lethargic, won't come out to meet you, lies down, walks slowly with his head, ears and tail down, whines, and has to be dragged outside with effort. Note the following signs: whimpering, trembling, forced hunched posture, weakness of hind legs may be caused by pain. If a puppy refuses to walk, quickly tires and lays down, breathing heavily with his front paws apart, then you should suspect heart or respiratory disease. If your dog is constantly shaking his head, rubbing his face against surfaces, scratching his ears, licking himself and chewing on his paws, it could be due to itching. What else affects a puppy's behavior? Body language depends not only on the health of the animal, but also on his mood and the realization of his needs. And if you are sure that your puppy is healthy, but behaves unusually, it may be due to psychological reasons. Bad habits can vary from puppy chewing on his owner's things, howling alone, showing cowardice, picking up and eating trash on the street. But more often than not, they're all caused by previous experiences, a lack of exercise, emotional stress, and a weakness in your dog's nerves. To prevent this from happening, avoid creating situations where bad habits can arise. Keep your dog from getting overexcited, switch his attention to himself, and always keep him occupied with new activities. How do I know how a puppy feels? To communicate harmoniously with your dog and keep him safe, you need to know his behavioral traits, which you can read from his body language: fear and panic. The puppy is rushing from side to side, scrambling, huddling under the couch, shivering, whimpering. His body is hunched over, his ears are pressed down, and his tail is pressed against his torso. Such animals often run away from their owners, bite, make puddles of fear. Uncontrolled fear and panic in the puppy is a sign of hereditary weakness of the nervous system. Such behavior is difficult to change, and purebred dogs with this type of nervous activity are often excluded from breeding because they are socially dangerous. Cowardice. The puppy is frightened of unfamiliar objects, often runs away and hides, wags its tail and ears, presses its torso and paws to the ground. At the same time, he is normal and makes contact with people, but can bite. Caution. The puppy is tense, sniffing, looking around, quietly stepping on his paws, his head and neck are stretched forward, his ears and tail are slightly down, and his limbs are bent. Suppression. The puppy is not active, does not play, does not meet his owner, moves slowly. The head, ears and tail are down. Satisfaction. This condition usually occurs in a puppy after an active walk and feeding. As a rule, the puppy goes to his favorite place, he is relaxed, squinting his eyes, his head, ears and tail are raised, he lies down and observes his owner. Friendliness. The main and well-known sign is the wagging of the tail. The head and ears are raised, the torso and limbs are slightly tense, and the mouth is ajar, giving the impression of a smile on the face. Interest. The puppy is quite active, sniffing, demanding attention. His head and tail are extended, his ears are raised. When the dog is in this mood, it is good to let him explore new things. Readiness to work. There is only you in the puppy's life. He is ready to listen to his master and follow commands. His attention is fixed on you. His head and ears are up, his tail is tense and outstretched, his paws are extended and slightly tense. Agitation. The dog is shifting, fidgeting, sometimes starts breathing with his mouth open, sniffing, moving his ears, wagging his tail, his muscles are tense. Aggressiveness. A very dangerous state of the dog. The dog's torso is tense, limbs straightened, head slightly lowered, ears pressed down, lips upturned, teeth and gums visible, hair ruffled, tail tense and outstretched. The dog confirms his mood by growling, barking and jerking. You should never use punishment or intimidation to raise a puppy, and only an experienced dog handler can correct his behavior using forceful methods. The owner should use an educational method that reinforces good behavior, not punishes bad behavior. And remember, raising a dog is a lot of work, including on yourself. Thanks for watching.